Right on. I think we are good. I am doing 100 days of code. So really, that's just like let's get some reps. I'm doing a little, or I'm working on a project called Spring Cubed, where we're gonna run Spring on Kubernetes. And the idea is or I'm hoping, right? Nothing's done yet. I'm hoping to run on different flavors of Kubernetes, right? Like Kubernetes is the API, so let's run on all the different clouds. Let's run on my laptop. Let's run on Raspberry Pis. Let's run on all the things. So even though I might do the same thing, I'm gonna get reps. I want to get reps doing the same thing in different places. I want to like explore all the ways that we're doing things. So I figured that the idea of jumping into Kubernetes might be a leap. It might be a leap. It's a different paradigm. It's new. There's new terminology, and I think that Docker is an easier leap. It's easier to get up and running, maybe, and maybe it won't be for long. But I think today, maybe that's the good start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some simple-ish pattern, and I'm going to make sure that it runs on Docker, on a Raspberry Pi, and that'll be my baseline. So that'll be like the low dollar, low entry point of deploying 15-factor applications on commodity hardware, and then we'll work forward from there. So it's still kind of like not kicking off the Spring Cube project yet, just getting started, and I want to have a nice baseline that I've got a couple reps on. So that's what we're gonna do, and I say that that's the a project. I don't know what that project looks like. I have kind of an idea of the steps I want to go through, but I don't know that that project will ever be done. I want to kind of explore, right? Kubernetes changes all the time. There's always cool new things, and I just want to help the Spring community to use it better. I don't have a voice. I've been coaching a lot this weekend and watching, so I don't have much of a voice left. I apologize in advance. So here, I'm going to pick up kind of where we left off. I'm going to set myself up here and get some screens so I can see things. Let me put some over here and make sure that I can see. All right, wonderful. So now I started this earlier over the weekend. I didn't finish it. I think this is just at the point where it went and I grabbed some sample code from another project. I did a bootstrap, and I'm just going to pick up where I left off. I'm just going to rebuild this gateway that I've built 1,000 times and see what we've got. So I added some configuration. You know what else I did? Actually, I need to do a couple of other steps. I'm going to build a couple of other things. So before I move forward on the gateway, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to go and I'm going to move these into a different GitHub project. I think I made one for Spring Cubed. All right. I already have a repository. Oh, I got my plan. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, what's my domain name? I got a domain. Let me figure out what it is, right? Everybody has a domain name for all their projects. I just got to remember which one. Actually, I got a few of them. Let me figure out which one we're going to use. I'll do it on this other screen so we're not showing off passwords and all that good stuff. I gotta do the two-factor authentication. Let's get that going. If I can see. And make sure I'm not missing anything. Two-factor stuff. Please hold. I like product called Bitwarden for my two-factor authentication. So I keep all my secrets in one spot, and Bitwarden allows me to have my own on-prem instance. It's got an open source thing, and I can use it the exact same way. The API is the same. All right, so now I'm over here, and I got to find out which. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go io.springcubed. We're gonna go service config. This is gonna be public. We're not gonna add a README, but I'm just making a new project. I am gonna make it Apache 2, like let's have fun. I want you to use it. And this will be Spring Cloud config server. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Oop. And I've done this before too, so I will do a couple of it's not that complex. Start.spring.io, but we just going through the same exercise, building the same thing over multiple times. That's a good practice, right? That's something good to practice. That's how you get better at doing it. So I'm going to go and make this IO Spring Cube service config. So I'm going to make my group name IO Spring Cubed service config. And then for the artifact name, I'm going to call it config service. But down here, I don't want this piece. I want the package name to just be IO Spring Cubed service config. I don't want that description. I think I actually want to delete that. I think it's still there. But I'm going to make this a Maven project. Can I do it this way? I don't think this is ready quite yet. Config. It's not quite. That'll be coming up. So we'll start with 3.0.6. Wait, can I do it with M2? Let me just double check. No. So we'll leave it here at 06. And the things that I'm going to add, I'm going to add the actuator, because I want to be able to see my metrics. The actuator is the biggest piece of Spring Boot that brought me to Spring Boot. It's the thing that really paved the path for me to come into the Spring Boot ecosystem. I'm going to add this Graal VM native support. This is just the developer tools, so it's not needed in order to do the Graal VM piece. I'm going to add the config server right here. And again, I'm trying to do this from memory. We can double check later, but let's go from memory as far as we can. And then, so I'm making this config service, cool. Now that gave me a zip file of the bootstrapped project. I'm gonna go and check this out. So I'm gonna clone this empty repository that just has a license in it. I can do it from here. Let's just grab a new terminal window. Shell new window basic. Okay, let's do this. And let's make it big enough so everybody can read. And good morning. This is a football team that I coach. I wore that hat today. It was a little bit cold out. I coach soccer right now, but I do coach football, soccer, and basketball. But yes, awesome. This is morning for you. That's cool. Because I think that this time might work. I might be doing more streams at this time. So since you're here, I want to practice something else. So I made this a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna treat this like a stand-up. Like, hey, what I plan on working on this week is I have a little bit of travel. I will be remote for the spring office hours. But the things that I want to get done, I'm going to do some work around Spring Session. I'm going to do some work around Spring Cloud Gateway and Spring Authorization Server. And I'm going to try to move some things up to 3.1.0 RC1. So I've been playing around in 3.10 RC1. That's kind of what I'm doing. But that's what my week looks like. Those are kind of what the projects are going to be based around. And I'm going to be doing a lot of practice on Spring Boot Redis recipes that are beyond just caching. Getting ready for Spring AI. So we'll be doing a lot of practice. That's what this looks like. Not sure what I'm impressed more. Yep, I did get the Raspberry Pi 4. So let me see if I can pull. I can't. Previous show, I had I set this up with the Raspberry Pi 4. That's what we're running. That's going to be the baseline. So good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. Like, it's nice to know that we got somebody to talk to. And anybody else that's joining, like say hello. Let me know where you're from. So here, I don't remember what I was going to do. Oh, I was cloning. So CD fun, and this is going to be. I like to make a directory, Spring Cubed, for the org that matches the org that I'm working in. So here it's Spring Cubed. I don't have like a GitLab versus GitHub thing, but this is where how I like to organize things is based on their Git org. So now I'm going to git clone this repository, this empty repository, and I'm going to CD into there, and I'm going to unzip the project that we just did, and then I'll reswizzle it. Make sure that I didn't leave anything. Nothing in there. You know, it'd be nice to have like a script or something to do those exact same steps. Yes, Anthony, awesome. Let me show you how to do that real quick. So if I'm using GitHub, so what I did, Anthony, I made this project. I cloned it to my machine. So I don't have to do everything just in the GitHub editor. Let me do it this way. So you can see I've got my directories. So now if I do git status, it shows me the things that are new. The ones that are in red, those are new that I want to put into my repository. So this is what my repository looks like now. Okay, it's empty. Not that one, sorry. We're in this one. It only had the license, so I cloned it. I put a copy of it on my machine. And now, in that same directory where I cloned it, I added some files. But those files are just in the folder. I want to add those to my GitHub, my GitHub repo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this first. Git add. I can do dot, and that's everything that's in my local directory. So now if I do git status, after doing that git add, it says, oh, you've added some new files. So these are in green. And these files in green are the ones that I want to push up to that parent GitHub repo. So I just did this. I just checked it out. Ian, yes. By the way, check out git add-p. Let's do git add-p. No changes. I will look at it. Ian, what does the -p do? So here's what I'm gonna do. I've done this. I got my things. Now I'm gonna do a git commit. So this is just like the comment at the bottom of our Git editor. Hey, Anthony. Sorry, let me put all these comments up here. RPi might be fun to serve for a Spring security project to be invoked by other people. Yes. So I'm going to be building and deploying a referenceable application because I'm going to deliver everything with raw VM. So I'm going to deploy all these little microservices to that Raspberry Pi. And it is fun. I've done it many, many times. But now I'm just going to kind of do it as a practice. And I'm going to kind of go through the steps and hit some different topics along the way. But I want to do it on Docker first, and then I'm going to do it on Kubernetes. So that'll be the thing. The idea of having different Kubernetes environments to deploy the same thing. Again, just practice, getting reps, finding the differences in the different environments. And Ian says, how are you, Deshaun? By the way, check out git add p. And I'm asking Ian, what does the -p? I'm pretty sure that's the default for some of my friends. Normally I'll add them file by file, but I'm trying to show Anthony the easy path. And Anthony says, hi. So this is great. This is wonderful. So here, I'm back here, Anthony. I added those files, and I can see that these are the new files that I want to push up. I did git commit -m because I want to give it a message. And I'm going to say, this was just like straight out of straight, or initialized by .spring.io. Okay, now those have been committed locally, but they still won't show up over here. Okay, they still don't show up over here. So in order for them to show up over here, I've got to say git push. And now I've pushed them, and now they will show up here. So in this project, I could also just go, create new file. Can I also create a new directory from here? That's what you're asking me. I thought there was a way. You've activated the file finder. And maybe there's not a way to do it from there. I thought that there was a way, but this is going to do a file. I thought that there was a way to do it from here. Upload files. But I don't know. Simon says, for the commit, kindly add -s for big projects. Explain. I don't know. I don't know these things. So let's do this. Clear it. Let's say git add help. So I can see. Was that a capital S? Oh, signed commits. S is signed commits. Ian says the -p gives you a quick diff that asks if you want to add a snippet of code in one of the files. It also allows to stash the code in Git if needed. Right on. Good stuff. See, like part of doing things in public and like co-working is everybody learns. Everybody learns. Nice. So let's just keep on keeping on here. I'm going to go back. Clone it to your local box and then add. So like, just depending on what machine you're on, this is a Mac, and I did makedir. And then, I think it's makedir on Windows as well, and Linux, actually. Isn't it mkdir across the board? Isn't that the same on Windows, Mac, and Linux? I think it is. But I have some things that I like to do on all these projects. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up this one, idea, and let's work on this. And then those other cubed apps that I've done, I'm going to migrate those over to this project. So I'm going to start with the configuration. Yeah, I'm going to start with the configuration. So here, one of the things I like to do, and I made an app to kind of help myself here, initializer ++ j get ver. It adds these extensions. I'm going to delete that. And these are just like housekeeping things that I do with all my projects. Initialize project description. Oh, couldn't parse it. Project version. Good. What else do I like to do? I don't need a description. Project name. I like that. Name my projects the same way across the board. So just little things that I like to do. Little things I like to do for all my projects. As you get practice, you kind of think, oh yeah, I like this. And if it's in the same place all the time, you get consistent and you can get better. All right, so is there anything else? Oh, I also like, which I haven't done the plugin for. I'm going to go copy from another project. Please hold. I'll find it. I like to have the formatter. Oh, Simon, you know about that. Like I've been doing that consistently, or trying to, and I have an example of it. Just that same code block. It's the same always. So the nice thing would be to put it into my Spring initializer. So I'm just going to add this plugin. Same simple code block. Cool. And I think that's all the stuff that I normally do. Anthony says, I believe so. Simon says, I like it myself. Yes. I think this is what I do. Let's do this. Initializer, help. What other things? I don't need that. Did that. Done. I don't need any of the others. Expose Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Expose management endpoints. Expose. Wait, where did it go? Expose-mgmt. Expose-mgmt. Done. And what that did was it gave me this application YAML, and it just put in those properties that expose the management endpoints. So this, Simon says, it helps improve consistency, especially nice if you want to share, so you have a uniform format which lowers the content. Yes, like getting in that consistent practice. And I've had opinions on like how to write code and all that, and this looks prettier. But this way, it's just one less thing for me to think about, right? Like it works for me. You know, it doesn't hurt to use. Nobody died. So let's do this. Let's look at our status again. What have I done locally? I like to have commits for the changes. So here, let's add the in the end. Oh, there's one more. Commit. That was the jgit and jgit ver. And what that does is it gives me a way of using the Git tags for my versions instead of having to version things manually. Just tag it in Git, and then you'll get my versions on all of my artifacts. The other thing, I'm going to add Spring Shell to my ignores list. I'll do it over here. Spring-shell. Whoops. I'm going to go to the bottom. These are all the things that I don't want to store in Git. A list of the files, springshell.log is one of them. Add, git, ignore Spring Shell. Let's push those up. And so now I'm keeping a record of all the changes that I make in this project, which this first part, it's not that valuable. For somebody else that comes in and looks at it, they can see what I've done. So they can go from Spring Initializer and they can take those exact same steps and they get the same output. And they understand like what was changing. So the other thing is I added git add source main resources commit, and that was the expose management. Maybe for this project, I'll change that later. I'll change it later. Like it's one thing to do it for a demo, but it's different like to make a reference project. So we'll put that configuration into configuration. But this is the config server. So yeah, it can be a config client and go get its own things, right? All right, so we're here. And what we're trying to do is make a config service, a place where we can go and get the values that we need for different things. So what else did I add here? The Maven format plugin. What are all these changes? Oh, it reformatted the POM. That's my plugin reformatted the POM. So there's more diffs there than there really is. Git add POM.xml git. I've never done signed commits. And there probably is some setup to that, but that's something that maybe I need to start doing. That'd be, I think, a good practice. But what I did here, rename, update name, remove description, set version to 0, add Spring format plugin. Git push. All right, so we've got a project. All my things are up. Git status. And and just so everybody knows, I'm doing 100 days of code. And Anthony, who's been watching, Anthony is my study buddy. We're both doing 100 days of code. It's day 3. So this is part of it. Let's just get an hour of coding, an hour of practice. And the thing is, it's okay to redo today what you did yesterday. Get another hour of practice in the thing that you did yesterday. Absolutely okay. This is how you get better at things, by doing them over and over again. So I've built a config service hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds, dozens of times over the years. Every rep counts. I've messed with it many times, but starting from 0 up to a running config, I've done that dozens of times. And that's okay. I want to do it from memory. I want to have it. It should be a no-brainer. So one of the other practices is I don't like the long names. I like it when all of my Spring Boot application, my Spring Boot things are just application. I know the name of that application from other places. Even now, you're like, hey, what if I put more than one into the same project? I'll show you. We have this string modulith idea. In the logs, if you're following the packaging properly, you'll put those different applications in different packages, so that you'll have, this is my config service, and if I had my discovery service in here, it would have a different, even though they're both application, they're in different packages, so the logs look different, so I know which one is which. So this is just a practice. Oh, you know what though? That's a good idea. That's a good idea too, is to do the microservices approach, and then maybe or vice versa, do the monolith approach, and then break it out into microservices. That might be something. Oof, it'd be something we can do along the way and still have it run. All right, so here we're running. I don't remember what I was doing next. Oh, I want to make sure my tests are the same, and they are. The other piece here is, whoops. In order to make this a application server, I've got to enable it. Enable config server. I don't remember the name. Maybe that's something I should work on. But my IDE does that much for me, so I get it. Yeah, and look at there. I even got this. Oh, I had the nice little help. That's all that I need to do. I'm going to do one more step. This is all that I need to do. I'm going to do one more step over here. Because by default, locally it runs on port 8888. I'm going to do this. Server port 8888. I want to leave it that way. Normally when I make an image, it'll be exposed on port 80 if I use the Spring Boot build image. But I want to force it to 8888 in this case. So Simon says, yes, need to set up a key and import it. Just helps prevent impersonation when people do odd things. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I want to do that. I want to do that. I won't do it on this stream, but I'd like to do that sometime soon. Simon also says, I'm using Modulith on a new project at a client, still early stages, but working quite well. That makes me happy. That is wonderful. Now, just for it to be Spring IO, so I can switch to 3.1 and no longer need to do Docker Compose up and can instead use a new plugin. Have you tried using the new plugin? I started going down that path the other day, and I got stuck. I kept on running into issues and getting distracted. So I actually haven't taken the 3.1 plugin. I took a workaround that I saw Oleg do at a little conference, a mini conference. So that's the way that I've been going forward. Wonderful, wonderful. Great to hear. Great to hear. We'll doing the sign commits, like that's something I will definitely practice, and it's something I'd like to do. I think it's the right thing to do, especially for a lot of orgs. So these are the things I'm changing. I enabled config server. I made this property change of the port, and my tests are still running. So let's do git status. Let's just commit those. I haven't tested it. I haven't ran it yet. I'm gonna get add source main Java git commit. No, let's do it this way. Git add source main test. Oh, source test. And then git commit. What did I do? I enable config server and rename classes. Okay. So here's the other thing. I'm pushing these changes to a GitHub repository, but that GitHub repository is not doing anything. There's still other work to be done before it can run on that device. So we'll get to that in just a sec. But let's add this one more thing. Git add source, git commit, set server port to 8888. So when I run it locally, it'll get that port, but I want to make sure it gets that port when I build my container. So the last thing that this config server needs is it needs Spring. I don't remember. It's Spring Cloud config server URI git. I think Spring Cloud. Spring Cloud config server. What did I say? URI. Oh, git URI. And we're going to do this. HTTPS github.com spring cubed. And I'm going to call it, it doesn't exist yet, but I'm going to go make it right now. IO Spring Cube, and I'm just going to call it config. So I'm going to make a new repository. This is where I'm going to store all of my configurations. io.springcubed.config. Yes, it's going to be public. Yeah, let's add a README. And yeah, have fun with it. Okay. So that's where my configs are going to be. io.springcube.config.get. All right. So that's the last thing that this config server needs. It needs to know, like, where do I go to get my configurations? Wink. It says, YouTube ate most of my chat. That's weird. Dan actually did a nice video on it last week. Okay, good. Awesome. Dan does good stuff. I like to listen to Dan's videos. Like if I wasn't doing a stream right now, I'd be listening to Dan. Like that's kind of one of the things I've been getting into. And of course, I like to listen to Josh. Josh is he's my Spring Boot Yoda in many ways. And in life. He's got such great ideas and perspective on things. I'm a big fan. Big fan of both of them. And more. And the rest of our team. I am pretty lucky to be on a team like I'm on. All right, so I did that. Now let's try to run it. So what I expect is actually what I'm going to find is I have another project over here that's running on local port. Let me go and shut that one down because I know that it's running. I'm going to shut that other project down before I start this one so that this one will actually start. But there's another solution to that too. If I had changed my server port to 0, it'll just pick a random port, but then I don't know what port it is. But that's what it's there for. It's like, hey, I will find a port, and that's okay. So just know that it's up and running. We'll get it up and running on some port. Simon says, and I love having Josh on whilst coding, even if it's just him lamenting about his expense notes. Yes, same way. Same way. So we did this. I stopped the other, so I should now have a port open to run on, the port 8888. Let's just run it. Maven W Spring Boot run. It's going to go do its thing. I didn't need to download because I said I was doing this. I'm getting reps in. So it started up on that port, and it also got started up in 1.2 seconds. So now what I can see is localhost 8888, actuator health, and it's up. What does that mean? It means the application checked the things that it needs to check, and it says, I'm up, I'm healthy, I can do things. You can send traffic to me, that's okay. That's what it's doing. We haven't given it any configurations to share, so for now it's just up and running. And that's okay. That's a great point. That's a great starting point. So now, let's do this. We're going to take it one step further. So I stopped it. I like to have things named. So in here, I want to do configuration. Again, my IDE is helping me. And yes, I'm going to do image. Builder. Did you see how it said Baketo Builder? I want Deshaun Builder Tiny. This is the one that does ARM64 images. I did a lot of work on this last week, but I'm going to use this builder so that I can have native images. All right, so we have this builder. There's one more thing I want to do. Name. The name of the image, if I built it, actually, let's just do that. Let's just show you what the name of the image looks like. MBNW Spring Boot Build Image. See, like, I didn't need to look that up. That's what the reps are like. I want to be at that spot with all this stuff. So you do more of it, and then it just becomes automatic. Like, I'm looking at myself like, hey, how did I memorize that? Because I just did a bunch of it. I've done that so many times. It's just there. And that's why 100 days of code is valuable. Doesn't matter where you're at, wherever you're at. Second grade, we're learning how to add 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. We're doing these things. That's cool. The way you memorize, you just did a bunch of it. Worksheets and worksheets and worksheets of 1 plus 1, 1 plus 2, to the point where you remembered it. That's the way the mind works. Like, learning is fun, and understanding like how we learn, understanding that I tell my kids, if you want to get better at something, and my friends, if you want to get better at something, do more of it. This 100 days of code thing, it's so popular because it's so simple and it's so powerful. Take an hour of something. You can do it with anything. Take an hour of something, do it every day. Every day for an hour, whatever you want to do. Be 100 days of drinking water. Drink more water for 100 days in a row. Deliberate practice. Like my tagline. Listen, just to make sure, this is the deliberately practicing to build, run, and manage better software faster. That's the whole thing. But don't miss out the deliberate practice part. That's very important. It's first. Deliberately practicing. Sorry about hitting the mic. Deliberately practicing. That's what I'm doing. That's what this is doing. And now I got a study buddy. Simon, have you ever done 100 days of code? 100 days of code. You've probably coded for 100 days straight, but deliberate practice of 100 days of code is slightly different, where you're going to code for an hour on anything new. Anything. It doesn't have to be new. Get reps in. Hey, Ian, if you're still here, have you ever done 100 days of code? Like, maybe we could get a little cohort going, a little group. That'd be fun. All right, let's keep going. So I did this. Oh, I did the build image. Did I do it? No, I didn't do it yet. I got on a tangent. So now we're building an image. We'll get a little drink here. Look at this. Ian says, a couple in a row. Recently did it for Angular and currently doing it for TypeScript, I'm assuming, to refresh it and learn new TypeScript 5 feature. There you go. Awesome. Simon also said, also opening some nice opportunities and found some fun tidbits to integrate in my old project. Exactly. It's fun. It's fun to have old projects to go back and look at, oh, look what I can do with that thing now. Like, that is I think it's fun. It's fun for me. Oh, I should show off my Cloud Foundry. I'm still a fan of Cloud Foundry bottle. This is what we do. All right, so I built an image locally with my builder. And the name of that image is Docker Library Config Service. So it doesn't have like a group or a repository. It's just got this top level name. And I don't want that. I'm going to put it into my repository. So let me just give it a name. But now the question is, should I name it here? Because there's different. I want to do this in a couple of different places. So I'm just going to think about it. I want to, from tonight, I want to have a Git action or a GitHub action, and I want to have a GitLab action. So I'm going to make a copy of this repository over in GitLab that's referencing this one, and I want to have pipelines for both. I want them both to do it and just compare and contrast. All right, so this is here. Actually, I'm gonna leave it. This is here. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I am gonna name it. Sorry. Okay. And the name is Deshaun. Actually, the name is Spring Cubed. Dude, how do I? I'm not gonna put this on Docker. let's put these Spring Cubed images someplace else. Let me see. Can I make? Can I go to hub.docker? Can I make? Oofda. My username is Deshaun. There we go. I got two-factor stuff. 952-728. Can I make a new organizations? Let's try this. Okay. I don't know that I need that. Let's see if I can do it this way. Can I make a new? Oh, here we go. I can. Namespace. Can I do that? No. Okay. Maybe not. I think what I'm trying to do is create a namespace, not a repository. Right? How do I create a new namespace? Do I just push an image to it, maybe? Spring Cubed. I know. Yeah, it'd be nice to have all the Spring Cube images in one spot. Simon says, that's a nice bottle. I love useful gadgets like that. I want to get a hold on a new IntelliJ multi-tool. And one can also never go wrong with socks. I have lots of socks. Yes, and stickers. Oh, look at this. I was thinking of you, SU James. I was thinking of you when I started the stream because I'm pushing things to Docker on a Raspberry Pi. So we're just building stuff. I'm building a baseline for what we're going to put on this Raspberry Pi. Eventually we'll run Kubernetes, but I want these projects to be runnable on Docker and Kubernetes at the same time. We're going to talk about the differences and how you can do that. We try to make it easy with Spring Cloud Kubernetes, to be exact. We can do these things. So I'm gonna do it here for now. SeanIO.SpringCubed.service.config, and it's going to be v$project.version, because I'm going to tag it with a V. Whoops. And then it's going to get the project version. So right now, my project version says 0, but remember I added that jgitver, so it's going to get its version. You can see here it got a 0.0.0. So that's where it is. There's no tag, so it's got a 0 version. James, I'm glad that you're here. So thanks for joining. I'm probably going to be doing this for a little while. Like, I'm not tired. I apologize for my voice. My voice is tired. But yeah, let's keep on keeping on. We made that change. I just put the name. I gave it a name. So then I can just push that as I go. So if I do the same thing, Spring Boot build image. I can definitely build it locally. James says, sometime in roughly 2 to 3 weeks, I plan on pushing a project on Linode. Awesome. using, oh, it's the Cicero pipeline. Oh boy. First time implemented. I gotta go, now I gotta check. I've never heard of this. James, you're teaching me stuff. What is Cicero pipeline? What is Cicero? James, can you send me a link? Oh, he said CI/CD pipeline, not Cicero. I thought Cicero was some new framework. So yeah, so you'll be happy. Like you're at the right spot, the right time, because this is what I'm doing right now. So here we can see that now I've got the right image name, and this is what I want. But there's one more thing. I want to be able to run this on Raspberry Pi. I want to be able to run it on Intel. I want to run it in Azure, run it in Alibaba or whatever. In order to do that, I need a multi-architecture approach. And I already know that I'm going down this way, going down this path. That's why I'm using my builder. That's why, yeah, we're going to do this. So bear with me. We haven't done much coding. We're kind of building a pathway for our apps to go and be 12 factor, 15 factor, etc. So right now, let's go and build a pipeline. So let's make these changes. Git status. I've made changes to my POM file where I added the configuration. And that's all. I can look over here and I can see that those are the only lines that have changed. So let's do this git add. Let's try this -p POM. What does that do? Wait. Oh, dash lowercase p. And it's like, oh, hey, look at what you changed. Is this exactly what you want? Stage this hunk. Stage, is that right? Yeah. Git status. Okay, so it add now it's staged. That's awesome. So now let's do git add -p source. And it says, hey, did you want that? Yeah, that's what I want. Yes, no, quit. I don't know what the ADE question mark are. Oh, there it is. Put the question mark and it tells you what's up. Stage this hunk and all later hunks in the file. Boop. Warning, one line adds white space errors. What is that? What? Okay, let's do our mbnw clean install. Everything looks good. It said something about a white space error. Maybe it's just that last line. Git status. Git add source. I need to make that -p. Git status. Git status. Yeah, git commit. We update Spring Boot Maven plugin config and what was in the application YAML? Add config server git URI. Push those up. But wait, like I thought we were going to build this thing. Yeah, you're right. Here's what we're going to do. I don't know if I need to do this for memory. Assignment about 100 days of code says, I meant for the 100 days challenge, gamification also helps. If I beat my goal, I'm treating myself to a QB since my current rig is getting worn out. What's CUBII? What is that? Kubi, cubby? I don't know what that is. Is that slang? I'm like, oh, whoa! I just looked it up. Wait a minute, I want to do that. That sounds like a great reward for something like this. It's a under-desk pedal setup for exercise. Like I just looked it up. Hold on. I can put that up here. CBS. Look at these things. A little, then I'd be screaming like this. That's sweet. I like that. That's probably good for my knees too. Ooh, I think that's nice. Gamify it. Oh yeah. We're on to something here. But here's what we're doing now. I want to generate the Docker image. And I don't want to do it from my laptop. I want that to be a part of my CI/CD process. So, James, for you, let's go grab one that we've already got. I'm grabbing it from this project, which is out there, my GitHub repo. I can do it over here too, right? GitHub.com, Sean Dev, that one. It's one of my favorite. I like the gateway. It's nice. So .circle CI config.yaml. I think I can just copy this file as a start. Where am I? I'm here. Let me close some of these other things. Close. I'll move some of these. Yeah, we'll come back. All right, so I needed to make in order for Circle CI, I need to make a new directory, .circle CI, and then I need to make a config.yaml file, config.yaml, I think. And let's paste those changes. Let's take a look at what's going on there. So here it's version 2.1. I'm using this Docker image, and these orbs in Circle CI are like GitHub Actions. They're like GitHub Actions. So these orbs, they each do something. So here I'm going to do an ARM64 native. This is the job that I'm doing. Yeah, I want it to be native so that it'll actually fit on that 2 gig Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to deploy a bunch of these services to a 2 gigabyte Raspberry Pi 4. 2 gigabyte. Let's see how many of these services we can get in, see how it performs. And I think that we'll be surprised. And you know what? I haven't built a native image config service in a while, so it might work, it might not. I might run into some problems. So here, we're doing the thing, the native image, use this. This is how we set up an ARM64 runner. Circle CI has ARM64 runners, so that's what we're doing. Check out, set up SDK-man, get a good version, but I want this to be, right, SDK list Java. 22.3 isn't the latest. 22.3.1 is the latest, and that's what I want. I want the latest, 22.3.1. This says SDK update. I can let that happen. What did it say? Please open a new terminal now? Okay, cool. Here we are. Then we do boot building, but we're not doing Gradle. We're doing mv-nw spring boot build image. mv-nw spring boot build image. But I don't know if the profile needs to be in front or if it can go after or anywhere, but I like to put it in the front. So we're doing mv-nw-p native spring boot build image. I'm not doing skip tests here because I'm only doing this one command. So let it run all the tests. If it fails anywhere, it'll fail. But I'm not going to do a test phase, a build phase, etc. I'm just going to do it once, and if it fails anywhere, I got to do it all again. That's the trade-off that I'm willing to live with. So here we go. We did the Docker login, blah, blah, blah. The image is Deshaun, but it's not. The image that'll get generated is io.spring cubed dot service dot config, and I have this architecture tag. So I just did this on another project. Simon says, as a dev, we often get too little movement, so it really helps prevent issues further down the line. I agree 100%. And oh, nice, Josh made an SDK man orb. Now, this SDK man orb, do you know Josh Holtz? Because yes, that's who made it. Do I know Josh Holtz? Let's see. Josh E. Holtz. Oh, with a Z. He's on GitHub. I mean, I'm jealous that he's matching his kiddo. Like, that's awesome. Lead maintainer of Fastlane SDKs at RevenueCat. Look at this. So, Anthony, this is what an awesome GitHub looks like. Like, that's awesome. I code, but I don't commit enough. I need to get better at pushing things up and getting things done. Clear. What is this? I've seen this. Polydice. He's got sponsors. That's cool. So he's doing stuff. But now I'm interested in what's RevenueCat. Interesting. It's some cool stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bookmark this. I'm going to come back and check it out later. That's how I roll. Yep. You know Josh, and he does a lot of interesting projects. Clearly. That's cool. That is very cool. All right. Comm service. We did this. I was looking at this example. But the one thing I didn't do is I want to be able to distinguish. I want to build a multi-architecture build pack or image. So in order to do that, I have to build them both. I got to build the x86 side and the ARM64 side. So let's go ahead and do that. And again, I don't remember the plugin. So I'm going to go look at this other project. I feel like we did it the other day. Oh, you know what? I think I put it in already. Nope, I didn't. It's an extension. Again, I'm just copying from another project. I apologize. I don't have this memorized and I don't have it automated yet. I need to do that. So what this extension is going to do that I just added to my Maven extension, it's going to give me some properties where it detects the operating system and I can then use those values as properties in my Maven config. And there was one for Gradle. Gradle has a very similar project, but this is another one that I like. So again, you get those tools and those practices that you use all the time. It's a great idea to just automate it so that they're in every project. So I call my initializer ++. I used to hard code the initializer, and I was building the initializer, which you can go and build your own and have your own initializer, build your own projects from there. But that's a lot more work. So I did the initializer ++ to just like the changes that I want to do to the initializer, I put them into a Spring Shell project. So that I can go use start.spring.io just like I normally do. I get all the latest and greatest without having to update mine. And then I use the initializer ++ to bring my project up to what I want. Put in all the extensions, put in the plugins, do the naming conventions, do all the things. I could even have it provide my CI/CD scripts, right? Like automating this wouldn't be that difficult, right? Just add it. So maybe we'll get to that. So here we are doing this workflow, Docker Hub. This down here is saying only if there's a tag, only do it on a tag, ignore all branches, etc. So here now I will get the circle tag -arch. So it's going to be this image with a version -AARCH64 is going to be the name. Did I do that over here? So now that I have the extension, now in my POM, it's not just going to be the project-version. It's going to be the project-version dollar this thing os dot arch. Yes. Oh, oops. OS dot detected. Ooh. Oh no, that. Wait, what? Why is that not showing up? There we go. os.detected.arch. So now let's just test this locally. I have my extension. I've renamed my project. Let's just do this. .mvnw spring dash boot build image. So look at this. Oops, that's not the one. This one. On that note, have you considered adding the .sdkmanrc file? Yeah, that's a great idea. It contains the active Java version, then people cloning it just ask to do SDK env to get the same version. That is a great idea, and I have done that in several projects. So in order to do that, so now look at, first thing first, look at the image name here. I've got my canonical name, my IO Spring Cube service config, config service Spring Cube IO. Then I've got my V0 architecture, or AMD ARM64 is what that is. So that's my image name. SDK init or SDK env init. So it created a .sdkmanrc that says, hey, use the 22.3.1 R17. Excellent. So I'm going to add that. Git status. I should add that to my projects too. Right? Git add.sdk git commit. Yeah. SDK manrc. Status. Now it worked. Our image name was proper. Sorry, our image name is proper. It's got the operating system and the version from the tag, so I don't have to make POM changes when I'm creating new versions, which is cool. It's just a practice I like to have. So let's get add the .mbn, and that was add the, what was the extension called? Add OS Maven plugin extension. One of those other habits is when I do the git push, or I do a git commit -m, I do the and push it. And Simon says, things are going smooth today. Yeah, surprisingly smooth. So thanks. So we've now got that. Do we have any other? Oh, our circles. Wait, what did I change in the POM? Oh, I added the architecture. All right, git add POM, git commit, add detected architecture to image name. And then the last thing, I think I can commit this, and this will be our last. It's doing its thing. I don't have to make any other changes, I don't believe. So one of the things here is if I'm doing the SDKmanRC, it'd be nice to just do that command. I wonder if that SDK plugin allows me to just read the SDKmanRC. Right, we're going to get add .circle CI. Add circle CI config. So now this isn't going to do anything because this project, this repository that we just created, it's not, Circle CI knows nothing about it. So I've got to go tell Circle CI, like, hey, I'd like you to watch this project. And we can do that together. I'll probably expose some passwords or something along the way. Yeah, just, wait, what? Oh, string cubed. That's on the other project. So I've got all of these things. I wonder if, no, I have my org ID. Can I add a new GitHub org? Let's do that. Set up new projects. Sign up. Connect your code. Project. Like projects. Find your repository. Yeah, it's not over there. So how do I? How do I go and grab? Set up new project or follow project already built on Circle CI. Following a project adds to your dashboard. Does this have access to everything? It doesn't. Oh wait, it doesn't. Like, does it have access to all of my stuff? No, those are both on the Sean organization. So how do I add a new? How do I add a new GitHub org into Circle CI? Oh, here we go. There it is. Let's go down to oh, that looks like it's alphabetical. GitHub connected to Deshaun. Check permissions and update. Oh, what? Check permissions on GitHub. Circle CI has organization access. Okay, so let me just grant it here. Granted. Oh, I gotta go give it the stuff. That was actually a kind of I shouldn't be surprised at how easy that was to figure out. My experience with Circle CI has been that it's pretty easy to figure out. I've been very happy with what I found. I might want to grant some more, but I'll do that later. So that's there. Now we're back here. So I was over here in my drop down. I'm gonna have to log out and log back in, which that's totally fine, right? Easy enough. So that I can wait. What? Did I log in with GitHub? I think I did. That's weird. Select an organization. Let's go to Spring Cubed. Look, and then there they are. So this one, I want to set up this project. Oop. Fastest in my, use the one that's in my repo. Yes. So it's just saying, hey, I already see that you got a Circle CI config. Do you want me to use it? Yes. Run main. Wait, what? Oh, maybe I named it wrong. Oh, it's that YML. Refactor, rename. Git add. Circle CI config. Oh, I thought I had my hat on. I had an itch and I thought it was still my hat. Rock and roll. So now let's do this. Boop. Main. It says I don't see dot circle CI slash config.yaml dot circle CI slash. Let's do this again. Go check that out again. Yeah. There you go. Let's set it up. Let's go. admin must opt in. All right, let's just do that. It says that, hey, we're not going to use that third-party orb. So let's go here to orb settings. It's probably in security. Orb security settings. Yes, allow members of my org to use uncertified orbs. And that's it. Wait, did I do that? Org settings. Security. I said yes. What is this? That's not it. It's just this, right? Maybe it takes a sec. Okay. The other thing is, in my config, I think that's all set up. In my config, I said I only want to do it if I've got a version. So let's do this. Git. I forgot. Here it is. Let's go and update my README. What? I don't have a README file? Oh boy. It's always good to have a README, right? So we're going to create a README file so we have some docs in our repository. And I like to make these pretty similar. But again, this is something that I should automate. This is undifferentiated heavy lifting. Start. And I also like to have contributing. And release. Get tag. Boom. Get that. Those are my things. That's exactly what I do. So let's do it. Get tag be 0.0.1. Oop, get push origin be 0.0.1. So now I've got a tag. I just push that tag up, and that's the effect of my release. So now over here, boom, it says, hey, I see that you've got a tag. Let me go and build it. So now it's going, and this is just building the ARM64 version. I'm not doing the x86 version on this. Should I? Probably. I should probably do that. So let's look at, I don't know what the default runner setup looks like. Oh, you know what? We could probably figure that out really easily. But we're gonna let them do it for me. I'm not even gonna Google it. I'm gonna do another project. I'm gonna let Circle CI give me a default one, and we'll go from there. We'll make the changes. So let's go back. Like, hey, we got this. Circle CI quick start, not that. I don't know where I am. What happened to my dashboard? I'm on GitHub. Here we go. It's building an ARM64 image. I don't need to download anything. So while that's going, let's do this. Let's take a look at our spring cubed. Ooh, let's make this a little bit bigger. Boop, 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 boop. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. SSH, spring cubed, local. That's where that machine is. It's local. It's right next to me. We're there. Looks like things are good. I don't like having access to the machine. We'll fix this later on. But on that machine, I'm on the machine. We have Docker PS. We have things running. We have this spring cubed cubed project, the simple one that we did a couple of days ago. It's still there, up and running. I don't want to deploy it like that. So let's do this. While that's still running, let's go into our Spring Cubed and let's create a Docker Compose. This is where our Docker Compose file is, and it's going to pull in all the projects that we add. We're going to make it public, of course. We'll add a README. We're going to add a patch 2 license. Use it. Have fun with it. And we'll keep on going. So now we've got a Docker Compose directory. Let's go ahead and clone that. And we'll start making some changes. So let's go back here. Remember, I'm in my Spring Cubed directory local. Now I'm going to clone that repository. A Docker Compose repository, I think, really only needs one, maybe. File is just a Docker Compose YAML. And I think I can copy this from someplace else also. Do I want to practice memorizing Docker Compose stuff? Do I? I'm not going to do today. I want to do more Spring, less of the other stuff. So this is why I want to build pipelines so I can do more Spring and less of the other stuff. I want to do more Spring, less of the other stuff. I want it to run on Kubernetes, but I don't want to manage all the stuff. I don't want to memorize that. I want it to just work. Make it work a bunch of different ways, and then I can do more Spring. All right, so we're here. We're going to copy and paste. We're not going to do a whole lot here. We're going to make a Docker Compose. So instead of doing Docker run for a bunch of stuff, we're going to do a Docker Compose file for that Raspberry Pi to show that, hey, we can run this project with Docker Compose or Kubernetes. We'll just have YAML all the way down. So let me just go and grab a thing. Not that one. I think I have another example of it somewhere. Might have closed it. Please hold. That's good. Let me go see if I can find one. Let me see if I can find an example to use. Got it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it over here so I don't accidentally expose anything. I'm going to sanitize it real quick. All right, this is going to be I think it's going to Deshaun. So it's io.springcube.service.config 0b. No. What's the name of the image? Does the image have the V in it? I think it does. Yeah, it does. All right. V 0.0.1. I hope we didn't leave any mess in here. All right, so we got our thing. I'm gonna make it config service, but I changed this. 888. So this is what the image name is, I think. But I also, again, I got this from Jonathan Ivanov. He's got a couple of great presentations on Spring Boot 3 and the new micrometer and how it's built new for Spring Boot 3, and how we get all these things out of the box. So, what is it saying? Unquoted port mapping. Oh, okay. Give me the little button. Add quotes. Easy enough. Well, let's fix that. That's the kind of thing where it might work on my Raspberry Pi, it might not work on my Intel. Like, yeah, let's fix those. Let's fix those things. Let's make it standard. So this is Prometheus, Grafana, and Zipkin. The only thing that I've added to this thing is this config service. Actually, we made another app here. We ran this Spring Cubed episode 0. Let's go ahead and put that service into the Docker Compose, so they'll both be up and running. We should move that service. We should move it over to the Spring Cube project and then do it. Here. So now I'm making a Docker Compose while that other image is still building. Oh, I didn't put the architecture here. I'm going to go ahead and do this. AA Arch. Yep. I'm going to do that. So now let's commit this. Git add status. Here, commit. Add config service to .attends baseline. Git push. Okay, now I've got saved Docker Compose. So let's do this. Let's do Docker stop Spring Cubed episode 0. Let's stop that guy. Docker images. We just have the one. That's cool. But what we're going to do here, I'm going to make dir. No, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to clone it. Do I have Git installed? Which Git? I do. Okay, let's go clone this repository that we just made. And this will be our Docker deployment kind of thing. So over on that, we'll baby step towards CI/CD, but this is what we're gonna do now. Git, git clone. Ugh, I don't have my credentials here. I think I can fix that pretty quickly. Bear with me. So I want to put some credentials on this box that can access my repository. I could get just a personal access token. Maybe that's the right thing to do. What's the fastest thing to do? Let's just get this done. Please hold, I'll put this over on a different screen and you guys can talk amongst yourself. I need to give keys to this repository. Is there like another way? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just do it this way. Thinking. Spring Cubed local. Dash I. It says attempt to log in with the new keys to filter out any or no keys were skipped because they already exist on the remote server. That's all right. Because I can log in to that key, but it doesn't have the actual dot key. Please hold. Please continue to hold. I'm putting a key. Done. So now, let's go back here. Didn't expose anything. Now let's do this. We're going to clone this directory to here. Can't clone the directory, the thing we just did. Sure, we like that. So now we have inside of this Docker Compose, we've got Docker Compose. So if I do Docker Compose up, you know what else I didn't do? I did. Did I give it this Spring Cloud Server URI? I did. I pointed it to an empty repository. I think Docker Compose up. Let's do a -D. We'll do it in the background so we can look at some things. Oh, what? Okay. Let's go take a look here. I installed Docker this way. I went here and I did it the same way I did on this post. Where's Spring Boot native? Yeah, I did it here. So I installed Docker this way. Why didn't install Docker Compose? Maybe I'm going down a rabbit hole that I don't need to. Docker Compose on Raspberry Pi. Yep, so I did that, add that. Now, to install Docker Compose, oh, they're doing it this way. Do I like that? I suppose. Like, what could hurt? All right, so I'm gonna do it this way because I'm gonna think it through as I'm doing it, and let's just do it together. So let's make our screen. I want you to kind of see. So as I'm going through this process, the nice thing is, it's just a Raspberry Pi. It's a drive I can pop out. We'll be okay, I think. Look clear. So let's do these. Let's do the thing. Do I have to install all that? Like, what if I just do sudo apt install python 3-dev? And why do I even need to do that? Why don't I just do python 3 pip python 3 dev. I think the libffi dev and libssl dev, I think those will get installed. Can't hurt. libffi dev libssl dev. Just do it in one shot. I don't know why it's set up in that way. Just go do it. Do the thing. Yeah. Like I feel a little dirty, but again, this is just, we'll get there. We're getting there. We're not committing to anything right now. We're just we want Docker Compose. Like, Docker Compose is a pretty interesting way of going forward. It's pretty common. So yeah, let's make it work. I think we're going to get a lot of people will understand how to take this forward. So that's what we'll do. Micro SSD cards are not super fast. That's why it goes so slow. I have other drives that I could put in this thing, but we're not worried about that. We're good. We want it to run. What was your thing? Make it work, then make it fast, then make it pretty? Is that how it goes? Gotta make it work first. I don't remember how you said it the other day. Simon says, I think there's also a Docker Compose plugin that might be lighter. Yes? Work, fast, pretty? Is that the order? All right, we're good here. All right, so now can we, no, that's only part of it. Now we gotta do the sudo pip3 install Docker Compose. There you go. Make it work, make it fast, make it pretty. Yes. I need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a t-shirt right now. Amazon? No, not Amazon. What's the t-shirt place? Make it work, make it fast, make it pretty t-shirt. What's the t-shirt place? What's the t-shirt place that has all the cool geek t-shirts? There's one. I don't remember, like red something, red. Redbubble, that's where I want to be. Redbubble. Oh, here's another one. It says make it work, make it right, make it fast. I like yours better. Make it work, make it fast, make it pretty. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. I don't know if I like that. I like yours better. I don't know. Redbubble is the one that I was looking for. Redbubble.com. Prague store? I don't know what. I'm learning so much from you, Simon. I'm learning so much from you. All right, what happened over here? It says externally managed environment. This environment is externally managed. It's all Python packages system-wide. Try apps install Python 3, blah, blah, blah. Where actually is the package you're trying to install. You should install non-Debian package, Python package. What? If you believe this is a mistake, please connect. What? Sudo app search. Docker Compose plugin. That's probably what you were talking about, right? Let's see. Sudo app install Docker Compose plugin. Docker Compose. Let's see how that goes. Let's see. Let's see. What could possibly go wrong? I'm gonna go and hop over and check out Anthony's site, see if he made any changes this evening. He said he was going to add a directory. Just peeking. Let's see, did we get... Oh, come on. Did you commit? Make a change. All right. Beg and plead. Commit something. All right. So we're here. We've got Docker Compose. Now, let's see. Clear. Yeah, we want to get into our Docker Compose, and now we should be able to Docker Compose up. Looks. Oh, the image for the service you're trying to recreate has been removed. What? Okay. Yeah. Pull access. Did I do something wrong? Oh, did my image not finish? What happened here? Let's go take a look. What happened to Circle CI? Maybe it didn't work. I was just expecting it to work. Oh, it failed. Let's take a look. We'll learn something. If we look, we'll learn something. Build failure. What? So it was early on. 1.7. Unable to invoke layer creator. Failed generating. So what? What? Execution just failed. Okay, well, I kind of vaguely remember having to do something special with the config server. So let's do this. Let's just change this for now. Let's go back to our config and back into our build. We're gonna take this off. Our image is gonna be a little bit bigger. It's gonna take a little bit more memory, but yeah, we'll circle back. We'll fix that later. All right. Git status. Git status. Git add. Git commit. Add readme. And remove IP native. Boom. Okay, now this will go and it'll work and all good. Now, yeah, I'm bothered a little bit by that, but we'll come back and fix it. Like no worries. So we're here. Like this project has stuff. It's got a Docker Compose. As soon as that build is done, which is not doing the native build, so it's going to go much faster. My ears are ringing really loudly. Oh, it's not going to build because I didn't give it a new version. Let's do that. 2. Oops. 2. There we go. Now let's build. Zoink. Can I delete this build? No. It's okay. I don't like leaving messy stuff. While that's building, I feel like maybe I should just go ahead and make a discovery service. And now here's the thing. There's already discovery service images out there, like, and config service. Like, we can go and just use the generic ones. But, like, there's no fun in that. There's no fun in that. So let's keep going. Let's go ahead and go to our repo. Not this one. We don't need that one right now. We don't need that one right now. Don't need that one right now. Thank you. I should like give a shout out or a heart. Thank you. Wait, where's the heart button? So I used it. Hello. Am I not logged in or something? Like, oh, here. Oop. Thank you. All right. That's going. Let's go to our GitHub project. Spring Cubid. And I'm going to make another project repository. IO, Spring Cubed, Service, Discovery. Hello. It's public. Let's give it a readme and license. Go to it. And then we go to start Expand.io. And this is not a discovery service, or this is not a config service, this is just discovery. And I like this naming convention, discovery. I don't need that either. Again, I think it still puts it in there. Jar, blah, blah, blah. And instead of the config server, we're going to add discovery server. And we want it to get its configs. So we're going to do config client. So let's generate that discovery service. Yeah, we're getting reps. It's okay to have another one. Yeah, replace it. Easy peasy. And let's do that. So that's over here. On Spring Cubed. Let's clone that empty-ish repo. Git clone. Now I have a place to do my discovery service. And we're gonna take this. We're gonna do the same steps. Again, this is why I like that initializer, and this is also a reminder I should probably update that initializer. I should probably update it and do all the things because I'm still doing too much lame stuff. Period. So I have that. We're in it. Unzip. On the downloads. Discovery. And then I move discovery. Move discovery. Rock and roll. Boop boop. So now we have our stuff. Let's do this. Initializer plus project version. Name. Description. Yep. Air it out. JGitver. And that's it. Right, that's all I'm gonna do. Yeah, I did the expose management means, but I'm not gonna do that. I changed my mind. I'll put it in the config. If I want it to expose management, I'll put it in the config. All right, boop. sure. Oh, SDK env init. I got to get the extension. So I make a directory. But I gotta get the other extension that I didn't have automated yet. It's right here. You know what? I could just go do that. Like, I'll do that on another stream. I got 100 days of code. I'll do that on another stream, but you know what I will do? I'm gonna go make sure that I've got those issues. Things that I want to do here. Repositories. So in this initializer ++, I've got issues. Add workflows. Like just have it do the workflow automatically. Add Spring Java format Maven plugin. Yep. Project description parse error. Let's add this. Add kr.motd.maven os Maven plugin. What's the other thing I do manually? I copied this over. Oh, let's remove the shell. Like remove Spring or disable Spring shell .log. What else? These are things. Right on. Let's see, what is it? It says pragmatic programmer publishes Venkat's books. Oh, got it. That's what this was. Got it. Got it. Okay. Perfect. All right. I think those are the only things. Add that, the workflow thing, the README. Like, it'd be nice to have just like a default README, right? Yeah, I want to add a default README template. What are the other things that I did manually? I got that extension, jkitfer. I could have it go and do the application. I don't need it in this case, but I think we're good. I think we are good. So let's do the status on RM Spring Shell. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit faster. If I need to be thinking out loud, let me know. But I don't have to refactor anything this time. Here, I need to enable Eureka server. It's just that easy. Like, thank you, Spring Team. I didn't do anything, but now this will just work. Oh, the application. I'm going to refactor, rename this one from application properties to YAML. I like it this way. And I'm going to do the same thing with the discovery server. Its default port is 8761, so I'm going to do that. Server port 8761. Right, that's the right port. Another thing, in order to use config, I need to give it a name. I need to like let it know how it's going to be. How config for what? I don't want to just have like default configs for everybody. I want each service to get its own configs. So I've got to do the Spring. Is it application.name? Spring application. Hello. Name, but I don't want it to be, I want it to be discovery service. So when it goes and it asks the config server for its configurations, it's going to say, hi, I'm discovery service. can I please have my configs? And then that's how I'll set them up. And that's it. That's all I need. By default, the Spring Cloud config client is enabled. I can give it some custom, I can do cloud config client, I can give it the URL. Wait, why didn't it? Client. It says it doesn't. What? Spring. What are my options here? Spring Cloud config. Wait, what? That's where it should go get its configs. Localhost 8088 will work if I'm running locally. I can do fail fast equals true, but I swear there's a client here. Not loading it though. It doesn't know anything about config client. Things change. That's okay. I can go look that up pretty easily, but I do know that I need to give it a name. So we're going to the port in the name, and that's good. Get status. Get. Let's see this. Get. Add all the stuff. First pass. Good. I want to do the circle CI. I want to see if I can build a native image. Let me do that over here. Let me make sure that I wasn't messing anything up. Spring service config. MVNW. I kind of want this to fail. Native. I do want it to fail. Spring boot build image. I want that to fail. Let's go back over to our discovery. We can copy pasta. Never mind. Okay. What would be nice is if I can simplify these things, make those, get those from properties, so that all those configuration files will be the same. But what's even nicer is if I can centralize the CI/CD. That's the real goal. These Circle CI configs and GitHub configs, I don't want those in all my repositories. I don't want to edit, copy and paste a bunch of those repositories. I want one CI/CD, and then I want to say, hey, go look at this repository, that repository, that repository, and just have one file that says, here's how you do things, here's how you bring things into my production. We'll get to that. Not today, but that's where we're going. On this journey, we're all here together. That's what we're going to do. All right, good. That failed. Good. That failed. Let's do this. Copy. Drop it in. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. Okay. Yep. Go ahead. Add it. I think the only thing I need to change is from config to discovery. Discovery. It is doing an R64. But it's not native, or it. Let's see if this one's gonna work. .mvnw. We haven't even ran it. MVNW. Let's just build the image. -p native. Spring boot build image. Let's see it. And actually, I'm pretty sure that what it failed on a test. What? Oh, because I have Spring Cloud client. I've got to say that, hey, my configs are optional. I can put it here in the main resource, or I can just do it while I'm doing my tests. I can just say, hey, let's do source test resources. Let's do new file application. And I can add again, I'm totally cheating. No, I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to cheat. What I want to do is Spring. But yeah, I want the config client optional thing. Config wait. I got lots of options here. I got that URI config username. I'm gonna go cheat. I'm gonna go look at another one that I did. I don't remember it off the top of my head. How do what I'm trying to do is say, let me get this project to boot up. It is gonna look for configs, but in the tests, let me get past that, please. I don't want to have to stand up a config server. I could with test containers. We can circle back to that. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Let me peek at this one though. Spring config import. So here we're gonna do Spring. It's not Spring Cloud config, it's just Spring config. Spring config. See, it even knows, like, hey, dude, I know what you're trying to do. Optional config. Look at that. So this is the one that is in the test resources. I think this is all I need to go. I think. Let's do it this way. MBNW clean test. Let's see. Making some nice progress. Goals, yes. Let's get this. We gotta have some future stuff. All right, so that worked. Now let's try to build an image. Let's run the tests. Those tests should pass. What happened now? Oh, wait. Spring config import property add. So when it's trying to run the application, when it's trying to do the build image, yeah, then it's going to fail. All right, but I don't need this one. I can put that same thing up here. But if I have it up there, I don't need it down here. I don't need a separate file. Spring. Oop. Config, import config server localhost. Sure. I think I'm going to change that localhost to config-service. Here's why. Because when I deploy this into a container, localhost for that container is that container, and that's not where it's going to find it. I don't want to have to be routing ports across my little network. So this way, whether it's in Docker or in Kubernetes or locally, I can still do the same thing. Locally, I would do a namespace or a host name for a config service. But I don't plan on running it standalone. I will definitely do the test containers. All right, so what's happening? Oh, it's building the native image. It may work, it might not. I think that I remember a conversation or one of the release notes where Discovery server, the Eureka server, was not, there's no roadmap for it to be native, for it to support native. I don't know the reason. I think it was just complex. Time issue. That might be a fun project though. Yeah, goals. So we're hitting the 2 hour mark. I do need to get to bed because I am going to work out tomorrow. I'm glad I got this done. So let's just finish this project or this one. Let's get this discovery service up and running somewhere, and then we'll go. So the nice thing is about this Docker Compose project. I'm not there, right? I still have on Spring Cubed. What do I have running? Anything? What is that? I have something running. Oh, it's the thing that's running pack. It's building this image over here. That's what's running in Docker. But let's edit this Docker Compose file. Let's add a discovery service. Discovery service. The container name, the one that Docker's going to give it. Yeah, discovery service. Reports. Yep. Those. The image. Docker.io. Deshaun. io.springcubed.service.discovery v0.0.1 dash. That's the other thing. Oh no, I did. I add the OS architecture. RC64. This one is version 2. Is that one done? Let's go back to our pipelines over here. Uh-oh. Version 2 failed. What happened over there? It's like, I don't like you. It failed in the Docker login. What? I don't even know what that means. Oh, because I'm in a different org. This is what it means. So in the Spring Cubed org, I didn't set up my Docker context. So I don't have that yet. So that's why it failed. So it's building, but it's not able to push it. So I should probably do that on a different screen. Let's see if I can get it set up. And my organization, I have these contexts is what I'm doing. I'm doing a create context. Docker-Deshaun. There's my context. So then I go into it. In the context, I'm going to add some environment variables. I gotta remember how I did it before. Again, there's a practice here. I should do this as like a video, so I always have like a video of me doing it. I should make a note and say like, oh, here's what I did. Now that I've done it twice, I like Circle CI, but I only had to do this once, and then it just keeps on working. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go to another screen and see if I can duplicate the work that I did. Circle CI. Let's go. I'm gonna switch orgs. And I'm gonna go to my organizational settings and my contexts. And I named things the same. All right, so I need 2 things here. I need an environment variable named Docker Hub. See, this is another reason why I should always centralized. If I had a centralized repository, I could do it once. I could just go, hey, go look at that repository, do it. Go look at that repository, do it. I don't need one set of my credentials. But by pushing this out to repositories and orgs out there, I've got to have copies of it everywhere. Docker Hub. Password. think I have this somewhere. Create it. Password. Paste. Add the environment variable. I'm going to add one more environment variable called Docker login. And I think it's just to show them. Help. All right, so now go back to my Spring Cubed org. Bring it back over here so you can see that didn't work. So let's try it again. Try again. Boop, boop, boop. 3. Hello. Okay, get that off. All we did was add a tag. And then that's running. So while that's running, I was over multitasking. This is probably not fun to watch my brain jump from thing to thing. That guy's going. Let's go back over to our discovery. Oh, you know what? Oh, it's still building. The discovery server is still building. It's trying to do the native build. It's taking a long time. That's okay. What that's doing, I can still do this get status, get add. Oh, I got a message that failed again. Git commit. That is taking a long. Oh, you know, that's hung. It's froze. Because you know what I didn't do? I'll tell you what I didn't do. I know what I didn't do. Do you know, Simon? Do you know what I forgot to do? And why it's just hanging right there? Because I didn't use the ARM64 plugin, so I'm not even sure if this I can break out of it when it's running in the terminal. It's weird that it's going, but I think that's the thing, right? I didn't. Oh no, I did set it up. No, I didn't. I didn't do the thing. Oh, here, I can just go like this. Hey, holler, see ya, bye. Bye. Spring Boot Maven plugin. Let's quick. It is bedtime. It's way past my bedtime. Let's do this quick. Let's get it on here. Let's get this whole plugin. We'll see over to the discovery service. And like, what do we do tonight? We just got some reps in. We did some practice. Wait, this, there we go. And this is not config, it's discovery. And that's the only thing I needed. All right, so that's there, boom. Get add dot get commit this is we add Sean Builder tiny to Spring Boot main plugin. Boom. Okay. So that's going. I'm just gonna push a tag, a v0 tag, get tag v0.0.1, get push or origin v0.0.1, go. Will my projects, it shows up. Let's set that up. Set up the project from main. Hey, we see it. Good, go. Let's hurry. Let's see if we can get it up and running. I got both. Following an SSH key added. Interesting. Wait, what? What? Now what did it fail on? JGet for has changed. It now requires the user to what? That's not real. There we go. Just rerun it. Rerun it. Rerun it. Rerun it. That's silly. That was just a mistake. Yes. Have a nice evening, and that's the right mentality. Thank you, Simon. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Just reps. Get some reps in. So yeah, thank you. Let's throw this up here. Wait, we're gonna end it here pretty soon. And yeah. Some of these work, but we'll pick up where we left off. It was fun. We did stuff. Things work. So yeah, thanks for joining. We got a solid couple hours. Things work pretty well. But I want to look at that, failed again. We'll come back. We'll figure it out. And we know how to do this. We've done it many times. But again, we're adding new stuff and we want to automate it. So maybe I should focus on coming in and doing the Spring Initializer project, making some updates so we can make this a little bit prettier, simpler, easier. Thanks for joining. It has been wonderful, but I think I'll do this.